Hey everyone, Josh here with another close-up look at a Star Wars toy. And today we're going to unbox a Phase 1 Clone Trooper Lieutenant from Attack of the Clones. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and get this guy out of here. But before we do all that, let's just real quick take a look at the artwork on the box. And of course on the back here, we have got a character description, and I'll go ahead and read that for you guys real quick. Phase 1 Clone Trooper Lieutenant. Throughout the Clone Wars, clone troopers fought the battle droids of the Separatists across the galaxy. They were loyal to their Jedi generals and the Supreme Chancellor. Alright, and that's a pretty accurate, basic description of the Phase 1 clone troopers, but let's go ahead and open this thing up and get this guy out of here so we can check him out and look at that articulation and of course the lovely accessories that come with them. So alright, so of course we have the smaller blaster, the blaster rifle, and we will check those out in a moment. And then just oh right, there we go. So I'm just giving it a quick look over here, and here is the actual figure. And so when they're saying Phase 1 Clone Trooper, I'm sure most of you are aware, but for those who are not, the Clone Troopers the armor kind of evolved into what you know as a Stormtrooper armor. And so the first time the clones appears in Attack of the Clones, and this is the very first armor they ever wore. It's called Phase 1. And then when you get to Revenge of the Sith, what is known as Phase 2 and so on, they start evolving until they eventually you get to Stormtrooper armor. But this is the Phase 1, of course, but let's real quick go through the articulation here, and just looking at the head, basic up and down, about a quarter turn rotation on the head. It's the chin is hitting the shoulder strap, the chest armor, and then looking at the arm, that is about the extent of your up and down. You should have full rotation. A rotation at it's in the upper arm here. They put the articulation point actually underneath the piece of armor, so it's kind of hidden. I like that technique. And then we have the elbow back and forth, and you should have rotation at the hand, and of course, a back and forth at the hand. Looking here in the chest or the torso area, you got a little bit of back and forth and full rotation. And then I'm just taking a quick look at this belt, and I'm trying to see if it's actually part of the molded to the figure or glued on or loose. But it is loose, but I do not see where you can remove the ammo belt. But it is loose on the figure. And then we're going to go down to his legs, and you got a backward movement, forward movement, and you can see that's all I'm getting out of the back. It's a little restricted. And then you should have an upper thigh rotation, and you can see again they hit it under the armor, so you can't really see the articulation point, which is very nice. And then you should have a bend at the knee, and then again at the ankle you should have full rotation and a back and forth. And that really, you only have forward, and that's about it. And going back, you're being restricted by the armor. But all right, so there is the articulation for the Clone Lieutenant. And then of course we have the blasters that he came with, and just looking at the long rifle, there you can see it. And yeah, it's all black. There's no like highlights or anything, so you kind of, a little bit difficult to see on camera, but you guys can get what they're going for. There's a lot of detailing on there. You can see there's like some ridges on the barrel and some like highlights on the grip, or not highlights, but like you can actually see the grip on the handle. And then you have what is the smaller blaster, and same thing, it's just black. It's a little difficult to see on camera. But yeah, these are the pretty screen accurate weapons, but let's see how he interacts with them. Before we do that though, I want to check out his hand sculpts, and you can see the difference between them. So on his right hand, you do have the trigger finger out, and on his left hand, it is, you know, kind of more of an open fist. So, and again, I'm going to assume that all the blasters will interact with his right hand a little bit better. And yeah, it's got a good grip on it. You know, and one of my favorite things they've been doing here recently, or not recently, but for a while on these Black Series, is I'm loving the trigger finger interaction at the on the trigger finger there. And again, it's a little hard to see, I know, because of the black glove on the black rifle, but you can see how the trigger finger actually goes into the trigger guard, and he's got, it looks like a natural interaction. I really like that. And so I'm sure when you put it in the other hand, I'm sure he'll hold it, or I hope he will. But yeah, he's got a really good grip on it this way. But you can see you don't get the interaction at the trigger guard or anything like that. But I guess if you wanted to have a blaster in each hand, that would work. So then let's check out the, all right. I'm just going to go ahead and take this back out there. All right, so there you go. And he's got a really good grip on this. Fits in his hand really well. And again, you have the trigger finger interaction. Loving that. And just to be a thorough here, let's see about his left hand here. Yeah, so he's having a little bit. The handle on this one seems to be just a little bit wider, and he's not wanting to grip on it for me. There we go. I'm kind of having force it in a little bit, but you can see it doesn't quite sit as naturally in his hand, but he does have a really good grip on it. So, but that is about it. And I just wanted to take a quick look and see if there's any kind of like way to attach his blaster to his belt or his armor, because some of the First Order stormtroopers have little clips on their thigh armor, and they can hold the blasters there. And I'm just curious if they did anything like that with this guy, but I do not see anything offhand that is standing out to me. But all right, guys, let's give him a final little test here. And then I always like to kind of make sure that these guys can stand on their own and they're a posable figure without buying a bunch of stands. But all right, very good. I like it. There he is, everyone, from the Black Series line. This is a Phase 1 Clone Trooper Lieutenant from Attack of the Clones. And I hope you're enjoying the videos, everyone. I appreciate you watching, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.